Hey, Zane Griggs here. Today I want to answer the question, what types of fat I should be eating. I actually got this question up from someone after my last video yesterday, and I get this a lot, really. Because a lot of people have been told to be scared of fat, and we're very worried about that. There's lots of mixed messages, and I want to just help clarify, all right? So I'm going to go through some of the fats that I eat, and then the ones I think we need to avoid, okay? But let's start with what the awesome fats that I love and you should love and not be afraid of anymore. One we use a lot here, and you probably heard me mention, coconut oil, okay? It's a 90% saturated. I know we're supposed to be scared of saturated. We're not, okay? It's not bad for you. It's actually very good for you. Coconut oil particularly is full of something called, now I'm going to get a little technical on some of these things. Not all of them, so bear with me. Medium chain triglycerides, which means the energy turns, or the fat turns into energy very quickly for us, okay? It's easily broken down and turned into fuel, so when you eat it, you're not bogging down. It's very satisfying, but it's not, you're definitely going to turn it into energy so that you can keep going without the carbs to try to boost you up. Now, what's great about saturated fat, okay, for cooking, which is why I use this a lot, I put in a little bit of my coffee in the morning, and that's kind of like my breakfast, okay? Unless I have a workout, I don't eat in the morning, okay? I eat after the workout as well. But this and some butter, which is another great saturated fat. But saturated fats they have a high smoke point, which means when you cook with them, that's what I do. I cook with these, primarily like veggies, eggs. You're going to, it's not going to oxidize as quickly. So oxidized fats, oxidized foods are like free radicals in our body that go around causing damage. And we have to use up our antioxidants that we get from our food and from our, what we create to fight off these free radicals which are causing damage. They're causing inflammation in our bodies. So unsaturated fats, heated, oxidized, it's like rust for food, okay? And it goes into our bodies and creates damage, inflammation, and that's the beginning of disease. So that's why I only cook with saturated fats, like coconut oil or butter, ghee is good. Another one I just mentioned, where to go? Butter. Love the butter, okay? Like I said, a little slap of this with a slice of this in my coffee with the coconut oil. It's about 60% saturated, okay? The rest is monounsaturated, polyunsaturated. Pretty much a split. I think it has more monounsaturated, but it's primarily 60% saturated. So it's fine for cooking. It's enough saturated fat. It's not going to smoke as quickly. And lots of energy in it. And if it's, this is organic, you can get organic or grass-fed. Organic means no chemicals in it. Grass-fed means, the cows were grass-fed. So you're going to get a little more omega-3s, fatty acids, those good fatty acids in the polyunsaturated side. So basically, grass-fed butter, like Kerrygold, is a common brand you can find anywhere, even Costco. It's going to have more omega-3 fatty acids, which are anti-inflammatory, which is what we all want. But for cooking, put them on the veggies. Like put them on the steamed asparagus if you steam it. But put it on your Brussels sprouts, your broccoli. Don't eat your veggies without some kind of fat, and I think butter is a great one to spread on it. A little cheese isn't bad either. So also eat full. The naturally occurring fat in meats is great, especially grass-fed meats. Are going to, again, more omega-3s. But don't be afraid of a fattier cut of meat. Certainly don't be afraid of dark meat. That's ridiculous. Okay, it has a little more fat than the white. It tastes a whole lot better, and it's going to be more satisfying, especially if you're avoiding the potatoes, okay, and the sugary stuff. So the naturally occurring fat in dairy, in meats, fish obviously has great omega-3 fatty acids as long as it's ocean fish, right? It's not farm raised. And we buy full fat, like whole milk for our kids to drink, and I have some protein shake post-workout. So full fat dairy, nothing to be afraid of. Full fat cheese, definitely put it on your veggies, have it as a snack if dairy doesn't bother you. In your coffee, if you want to do half and half, that's fine. That's why you asked me about that. It's about 3.5 grams of fat per serving and 1 carb. Not bad. Heavy cream is 0 carbs and almost twice as much fat. So go with that, or you do it my style with it's almost that, the whole bulletproof thing. Coconut oil or butter, you're going to get a lot more fat, no carb. Okay, so speaking of coconut, something else that you supplement with to get some fat in. This is coconut almond milk. This Califia is the brand, but it's a coconut and almond milk blend. Yummy. Okay, very good if you want a milk substitute or dairy substitute. You get the fat. It's about per 8-ounce serving is about 4 grams of fat, 1 carb, 1 protein. That's great, and as far as I'm concerned, great. You throw some, some protein powder and blend it up for a protein shake. You get a lot of fat and protein together, almost no carb. So it's a great like dairy substitute. And I have this on my low carb days where I haven't worked out and I'm keeping carbs real low. And I want the full fat dairy milk. I use this stuff, so I get the fat, but I don't have the carbs from the lactose. Now, more unsaturated fats, because there's definitely some great unsaturated fats out there, and we want to eat kind of a mix of fats. We just don't need to be afraid of the saturated ones. So, nuts and seeds are a great source of, depending on, they're a mix. So they have saturated, they have monounsaturated, they have polyunsaturated. Okay, so macadamia nuts, lots of fat in these puppies. Okay, they're yummy. But they have a high fat content compared to most other nuts and a lower on the carb side. So another seed actually has more of the polyunsaturated. So a lot of nuts have more polyunsaturated fats, which can have omega-6s or omega-3s in them. Flaxseed is a great way to get something called ALA, which is an omega-3 that doesn't come from animal fat. It comes from plant. So it comes from usually higher in walnuts and flaxseed. So sometimes I put a scoop of this in a shake as well. Some people sprinkle it on salad, but it's a good way to get kind of a plant version of the omega-3, so anti-inflammatory fats, and it has a lot of fiber. Of the carbs in it, 4 of the 5 carbs is fiber. So undigestible fiber, your biome will love it. Okay, it's a great way to put in some fiber and healthy fats. Just sprinkling it in, and you mix it in with things. Just throw it in a salad, throw it in a shake. Avocado, another great one for a monounsaturated fat. Okay, has a little bit of saturated, a little bit of polyunsaturated. It's primarily monounsaturated. What does that mean? It's basically like olive oil. Okay, olive oil, we've heard how good it is for us, right? It's the monounsaturated fat. It's primarily monounsaturated. So there's no omega-6s. There's a smaller amount of omega-6s. Okay, in monounsaturated fat. The polyunsaturated has the omega-6s and omega-3s. Okay, that's inflammation versus anti-inflammatory. Monounsaturated, great fats, avocado and olives, pretty much on par, about 60 to 70%. I think it's more like 85% mono. So great fat, but I don't cook with this. Okay, you can cook light if you want to get away with it. But I just for special occasion, but I wouldn't. I just put it on salads, which I have probably once or twice a day. Of course, this mixes in with eggs, salads, whatever on the side. Throw it in as much as you can. Great fats, about 85% fat. This avocado is. Of the calories coming from avocado is 85% fat. Okay. This is, like I said, primarily monounsaturated. I don't cook because it's unsaturated. Okay, liquid, right? Liquid at room temperature. It has a higher smoking point, which means you could oxidize it, and then you're really kind of undermining the benefits of the olive oil by cooking it at a high heat and smoking it. So, I put it on salads. You could sprinkle it on, if you really like the flavor of it, put it on your veggies. That's fine. But it's a great fat to keep in your diet to keep you satisfied, right? So just put it all over your veggies, put it all over your salads. Let's see, I got one more here. Oh, sesame is another unsaturated fat you can use for flavor. It's again unsaturated, so I wouldn't cook with it really, but you can put it on salads, and it's a kind of a split between mono and polyunsaturated. So, because you do want to mix, you want a little bit of everything. Oh, one of my favorites, the egg. Yeah, I know it's silly. I always see the egg. I get these from a farmer out in the country here, so I know there's a lot of omega-3s in this because eggs have, probably a little more than half is saturated fat, and the rest is poly and mono, and then they do have a good amount of omega-3s or omega-6s depending on what they're eating. So the ones that are out, hunting around for natural stuff in the ground, they're not getting grains in the little coops. Okay. You got more omega-3s in these puppies. But, they've taken, officially, I know you guys are saying, oh, eggs, my heart, I've got bad cholesterol. For those of you who haven't heard, eggs have been taken off the chicken list, okay? Hear me? We don't have to be scared of eggs anymore. They're awesome. They have so many nutrients in that yolk that we were telling everybody to take out. I wasn't telling them, but that they tell us to take out. Plus, fat emulsifiers, which help break down fat. There's lutein. There's so many fantastic minerals and nutrients in the yolk of an egg, okay, plus a great protein source, which is one of the most easily digested protein sources in the world, okay, that we possibly have. Egg, okay, superfood right here. So don't be afraid of it. Eat it. It's yummy, okay. And I think that sums it up for what I got here as far as things you want to eat. Fats to avoid. One, I'm going to start by saying eliminate, or not eliminate, limit your polyunsaturated to certain ones. Like I think the almonds, the flaxseed are great. We don't have cooking oil in this house. We don't have like your typical corn oil, safflower oil, any of those kind of things. They're unsaturated. They're meant for cooking. We don't want to cook with them because they're, let's face it, they're going to smoke. They're going to oxidize and cause damage. Plus, there's a lot of omega-6s in them, and most of us get enough omega-6s in our diets anyway. Grains tend to be high in omega-6s, which is where a lot of those oils come from. Omega-6s are inflammatory, so we want to limit. We need them to a degree, but right now, we should be 1-to-1 ratio between omega-3s and omega-6s, and Americans tend to be 6-to-1, 10-to-1, 20-to-1, depending on your diet, how much grain you eat. So if you kind of limit grain, get the and the grain oils, keep those out of your diet as much as possible. And you're having some nuts, mix some nuts which have a little bit of both of those, omega-6s and omega-3s, you're going to be fine. Definitely supplement with omega-3 fatty acid, just to keep yourself, your ratios higher. One to avoid, trans fats. Okay, so everyone knows, even the government's trying to get trans fats out of food, most processed foods. And most of them have agreed to it, but there's some loopholes where they're able to sneak those in without being penalized for it, and now without having to actually label them. They're sneaking the trans fats in. So as much as you can limit processed foods, anything in a box, jar, plastic container, it's probably going to have those in it. So you see hydrogenated oils, or they've added hydrogen molecule, okay, atom to that molecule, to that fat molecule, which again creates inflammation. It's like a free radical. It just creates damage in our bodies, so we want to avoid those. Okay, so hydrogen oils is similar to trans fats. And then the big one to watch out for, which is in just about, almost every processed food, is soybean oil. Now, I don't like soy. I stay away from soy for a number of reasons. It's the phytoestrogens, but what you want to look for in most packaged foods, there's soybean oil as a filler. Okay, so they say 20% of the typical American diet is made up of soybean oil, and you think, well, how is that possible? I'm not eating soybean oil. I'm not putting it on my food. It's because it's in everything. It's in anything with a jar, box, plastic container, bottle, your salad dressing, your cereal, your bread. It's in there. Okay, it's a filler. It's all GMO, and it's all in our processed food. Anything that's been created and packaged, it's probably in there. So try to avoid soybean oil. It's inflammatory. Lots of omega-6s. You've got the phytoestrogens, which we don't need more estrogen in our bodies. We don't need anything mimicking estrogen. So let me see if I got some questions here before I head out, trying to wrap up. I see. Keep doing what you're doing. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. We're all over. Okay, let me see here. Now, can you use olive oil at a high temp? No, I think I answered that, Amy, but thank you. I appreciate the question. Sorry, guys. I'm scrolling through. There's several of them I missed because I was talking so fast. And this type is really small, and I'm not getting any younger. So, good morning, coconut avocado. That's right. Thank you. Yay. Well, I'm sorry if I don't see your question here. I just want to make sure I covered some of them. And I've got you should see my rake here. I've got two. You see me looking over here and over here. I've got two cameras going, two different pages. So that's why I'm kind of back and forth here. And I'm not used to that. I just started doing this with the two cameras. So bear with me. Forgive me. Okay, I think I covered a lot of these. But yeah, I wouldn't cook with olive oil at high temp. A special case you want to saute some garlic, I keep the temp really low and cook it slower. so you don't smoke it because they have a high smoke. But if you put it on medium heat, I mean, you're gonna oxidize it. Go throw in some coconut oil, maybe add a little bit of olive oil, maybe it'll protect it. I don't know if you mix your saturated with the unsaturated, it might help. I'm not an expert on that. But I tend to generally, as my daily habit, go with saturated for cooking. So if you have any other questions, please post below in the comments. Everyone will benefit from your questions. I'm sure they have the similar question, and I'll do my best to answer them clearly. Okay. And hey, you know what? Share with a friend. If you know somebody who benefit from this, put their name in the comments and tag them below. I'd love to again share with the class. You know, let everybody know, because I get this question a lot. Most people are hearing these mixed messages about, should I avoid fats? Should I eat fats? How much should I have? Are there bad fats? And nobody knows what the bad fats are anymore. And the definition of good fats has changed. So it's confusing. I get it. It's confusing. So hopefully this helps. Again, post questions. Happy to answer them. And have a great weekend. Go eat some eggs. All right. Enjoy the incredible edible egg. It's here for you to enjoy. They took it, by the way. So I know I'm rambling on here about this, but they did take cholesterol. Okay, the dietary guidelines for Americans, okay, which is a government source, so they're catching up. 2015 took cholesterol and saturated fat off the danger list, off the watch list, off the nutrient, no longer a nutrient of concern was the exact words. So you didn't hear about it because all these people have been preaching the opposite to you, didn't want to eat their words, didn't have to go, backtrack and say, oh, we were wrong for the last 50 years. But guess what? They were wrong for the last 50 years. So go eat your eggs, cook them in coconut oil or butter or some other fantastic saturated fat, and just don't eat the biscuits, guys. Throw the biscuits away and enjoy it. Enjoy your fat. Talk to you later.